Maggots, Beckett's, Stowe, Club, Brooklands, Luffield. These are the names that are enough to send shivers down the spine of any driver, be it European or abroad. We are, of course, at the legendary Silverstone circuit in the United Kingdom for the British Grand Prix today on late night racing, various reasons, on the starting grid. And of course, we are so excited to see what this race has to offer for us in Britain. All preparations now completed. All the cars on the starting grid and the lights getting ready to come on. The drivers' hearts pounding. 3 lights on, 4, 5, and we are off for the British Grand Prix. We can see Sakucho getting a phenomenal start. That is possibly due to his, oh my goodness, and we have a severe collision there in the back. That is Impervious out of the session. An absolute chaos in the back of the pack, and that's Blue Mars off the track.
Well, I'm not quite sure how to commentate on this, but I know that people on Twitch will certainly be doing this. Discord will be going wild. I'm not quite sure. I've not seen a start like that since Ben Johnson in the 1988, was it Olympics? It's quite phenomenal, really, that Sakucho now looks like he's down in 4th place. I was actually going to say that we've been racing here since 1950, and would you believe, King George VI and Queen Elizabeth were the first and only time a reigning monarch has ever attended a motor race in Britain. So if they were there for this race, I'm not quite sure what they would make of it all, but yeah, we'll have to sort this out.
But he has set himself up to sit pretty here as he comes under pressure from Adero. Meanwhile, Emerald Domi running wide on exit from turn 13 and on entry to Chapel, nearly taking out the DRS board. And Adero, you can see there in the distance, pulling off an overtake on Sakucho. Meanwhile, Pika having to go side by side with not 1 but 2 cars into the Stowe corner, and just barely maintaining 5th position there as the McLaren of Tony Montanas just slips away. And now the DRS is available, and the Williams driver, of course, deploys it, going to the outside. The Renault squeezing him to the edge of the track. Will he be able to get a better exit out of Stowe? He does, moving down to the inside of Vale, turn number 16. Brave on the brakes, and he's putting his nose in. Leaving the space for his rival, and look at how close the Renault was behind, but it looks like Larson has secured 9th position. He's going to hope that doesn't jeopardize his exit.
It's off. I've just seen it go off, and Alfa Romeo has gone off and crashed, making a virtual safety car. Looked like he lost it going through the right-hander, and yeah, we have lost a relapse. Has gone crashing in, and he's caused some considerable damage to his left rear tyre. Yeah, Anonymous is actually doing quite well. Had the best race I think he's had actually in LNR, in 5th place last week, and he was
Sakucho's out of the race. Forgive me, Sakucho's out of the race. His car is destroyed through turn number 3 there, through, I believe that's Village, and that is 2 races in a row that he is unable to get to the finish much quicker this time around. We are not sure what occurred there to cause such massive damage, but that is unfortunately our Red Bull driver out of the 2nd race in a row.
Really big fan of Silverstone, not his strongest track, but looking forward to having lots of fun, and at the moment having lots of fun there in 2nd place. But come on, Anonymous, put some pressure on Showing, because you don't win silver, you lose gold.
The highest running pitted car is Adero in 12th, as Ace makes a move down the inside of Brooklands. Oh, and they're going too wide through Luffield now. Turn 7 on exit. The Red Bull driver a little braver on the throttle and getting a phenomenal run onto the old start-finish straight. That is up into P5 for Ace, and that relegates Larson into the clutches of Upset immediately behind. Not a particularly long one, so every race really does count. And, well, that's he's going to have to sort out those issues that he is having, but we are confident that he's able to do so. Meanwhile, Quad making a move down the inside of Stowe, side by side still with LNR Rifler, taking that position then into the next corner after a better exit, and now Quad elevates himself up into 10th position, lacking some pace compared to Domi on the mediums. We have a yellow flag there in Sector 2, and you can see there on the left, that's El Jefe's Mercedes stranded on exit from the cops corner, and no damage looks like on his car, but at the same time losing a lot of time. Those softs have officially gone off the cliff for our Mercedes driver.
I was reading, that the Alfa Romeo, there's a few teams who haven't actually confirmed their drivers for the 2021 season, and maybe King's going to get another year. Who knows?
Pika very unfortunate to not be able to get out ahead of Shonen after the latter completed his pit stop. So now it's going to take some overtaking, it's going to take some gaining to get back into those positions to fight for the win and for the podium, and Pika secures that overtake nice and cleanly down the hangar straight, moving herself up into 5th position.
Yeah, Pika, really good to have her back racing. I think she's finding her groove now, moving up there, playing, and she's been in the top 5 for quite a lot of the race, really. But it's Quad I'm looking at as well, really. Quad, we don't seem to mention him as much as other racers, and he did.
And not keen to put their personal interests above their team. Well, we'll have to see just how long that holds up. Meanwhile, Sam Capjay going to the inside of Reifler in the McLaren. Of course, Reifler's medium's far far older than Sam's, and completing an overtake, moving himself up into 8th position.
The action here on Alliant Motorsports.
Superb. Well, at the moment, there is no rain, but Shonen is still making a convincing bid for the lead, or the provisional lead, as Alex Parida overtakes Reifler as well, and that is the McLaren driver relegated down into 10th position. If there are any anomalies on that pit stop, crucially Ace remaining out on track for at least another lap as Anonymous goes down the inside of Reifler, and that McLaren driver is just not enjoying his very old medium tires at the moment. Surely he's going to be thinking of making that dive into the pits sometime soon. Coming laps. Meanwhile, Anonymous looking very quick after overtaking Reifler, now gaining on the back of Alex Parida. And will he be able to make the move? Stick the Ferrari driver leaves the inside open into Stowe, with Shonen and Adero, who are elevated into their first 2 positions in the Grand Prix after the pit stop of Ace in the Red Bull, and the 2 Racing Point drivers are close as ever. Adero trying to keep Shonen behind in order to degrade his tires a little bit more, but moving to the inside, not much he can do, and that is his teammate up into the lead of the race on a newer medium compound. Now, do you think, Zippy, that Adero will try to take those mediums to the end, or is there a pit stop in it for him?
No pit stop in for Adero. I think he's going to take these to the end. But interestingly, Ace obviously pitted the soft as well, and he came out just behind Sam Capjay, but he's crucially already just taken him.
Of the same exact age, and it just looks like Domi is adjusted a little bit better to the grip levels now, lining up behind the Williams driver, opening up that DRS. And it looks like Quad is using all the ERS he can to try to keep Domi back. Domi dives it down the inside, a late move from the Williams driver, but managing to secure 12th position confidently around Stowe Corner, and they'll be looking forward now to chase down the drivers in the top 10. Decreasing by nearly a second a lap at the moment, as Bottas is now down to 3.1, as Emerald Domi makes a move past Blue Mars on exit from Chapel, not even waiting for the hangar straight. And now, of course, the Williams of Quad, as my
He's lost it. He's spun. He tried to take Blue Mars Quad, and he's actually spun and had to correct the car. I don't know if you saw that on your action there.
I was having some kind of technical glitches there with the cameras. They refused to show me car number 13, no matter how I tried. So unfortunately, we did miss that spin.
MRL Domi there past the Ferrari and those mediums, and actually looked like he kind of got the move done, but Tony Montana's all over the back of him now. I think he's actually retired from the session, so something has gone on with Quad.
That's right, and unfortunately, that is him left without points for this race. Of course, scoring 7th position in the opening race of the season, and elevating the Williams team into 4th position. He leaves it up to Larson to be able to. Oh, and it looks like Upset has spun on exit from Chapel. No damage on his Renault, but he loses several positions to Larson. That is Quad's teammate in the Williams, as well as Domi, and now Blue Mars coming up rapidly behind him as well, driving the Ferrari in 12th position. 2 seconds, and potentially a yellow flag in Sector 1, 2.
Renault's gone off, and then El Jefe, I think, had gone off as well, so, but Renault seems to be not moving very far. I was coming out of the pits, but I think it was El Jefe had a bit of a spin.
developments. Anonymous catching Sam Capche for 6th position as, oh my goodness, the AlphaTauri spins on exit from Luffield. And unfortunately, that is Sam Capche now trying to fish his car back out onto, well, facing in the right direction, out onto the pavement. And unfortunately, those 10-lap old mediums not working out, losing a spot to Alex Parita as well. Straight, the Wellington straight.
Ace wants to get past here because Ace is going to think, if I get past Pika Pika, I'll be able to make my way up to Adero's on the same age tyres. And there goes Ace into 3rd position in the moment, placing the podium, but could actually make it even better if he gets off the road. Seeing that Tony maybe died a little bit too good. Well, we have a yellow flag, and it looks like there's a McLaren in trouble.
And that's Reifler there, and you'll see him on the right side of your screen there. That car is absolutely destroyed in the inside exit wall from Luffield. That looks like the right front wheel up on the nose of the car. We're going to go back on board with Bottas now, who's getting a much better exit than Pika Pika out of all of these slow corners, and the Mercedes driver falling out of DRS from Ace in front. Not much she can do now other than try to cling to these guys and wait for a mistake, lest the ladder can actually make that move. Yellow flags again, and that is Shirley El Jefe.
It's El Jefe. Did you say that before actually seeing that?
No. That's, I don't want to burn our Mercedes driver like that. I saw it on the minimap. I do not assume any foul play from him. He has been struggling with his tires all race today, trying to make that one stop work. But I was aware that his car spun before I spoke. To make this overtake against his teammate, blasting that overtake.
Oh, Bottas is retired. Bottas is retired. You know, and suddenly there's a yellow flag in sector 2. He's gone off.
Yep.
Meaning Pika Pika's into 4th place. And obviously it's shown him coming along now, because I thought Adero might not even have 3rd place or 4th place here. But yeah, so we've lost Bottas, so that's more points for more people.
Indeed. Now, that is so unfortunate to see him out on the final laps of this race, as our leaders now are coming to the very final few corners of this track. Adero getting within 6/10, 5/10, 4/10 of his teammate, but it will not be enough through these final corners so tight as Adero nearly loses his car, getting very aggressive on the throttle. Shonen crosses the line to take victory at the British Grand Prix, and crucially Ace comes across the line within that 5-second gap and takes 2nd place from Adero, relegating the Racing Point driver into 3rd position on the podium. We'll see our drivers emerging on the podium very, very soon. Ace picking up the Codemasters Driver of the Day award, and if you guys in the Twitch comments disagree, well, please let us know who your driver of the day is. Shonen with the moonwalk on the podium, and he is celebrating his first win of the Pro Tier season.
Yeah, great racing for the Racing Point guys, but you know, Ace did excellent. Well, it wasn't a formality. A few accumulators would have had a Racing Point 1-2 there, but well done Ace, you decided to upset the teams. And Anonymous did excellent as well, and we'll let Savage go through the final standings.
For sure, and so far it seems like, the Racing Point drivers, each one finding a way to have their race compromised by penalties. But nevertheless, here is our finishing order. Shonen takes the victory at the British Grand Prix for Racing Point, and Ace from 20th on the grid into 2nd on the road on the podium. Phenomenal job for the Red Bull Racing driver, a form of redemption after the Canadian Grand Prix. Adero rounding out the podium spots with 10 seconds of time penalties, costing him valuable points in the championship. Pika Pika up in 4th position, and Anonymous in the Renault in 5th. Alex Parita in 6th. In the Ferrari, Emerald Domi in 7th. Larson in 8th. Blue Mars bringing the 2nd Ferrari home in 9th position, and Tony Montana getting McLaren on the board once again in 10th place. Behind them, Sam Capche in 11th, Ant in 12th, Upset 13th, El Jefe 14th, Bottas 15th, and Reifler in 16th, Quad 17th, Sakucho not finishing the race in 18th, and we have just been cut out of the standings board for our final 2 drivers, but of course we do remember Impervious's retirement on the opening meters of the race.